Are you ready for your window shoppers to become paying customers? Ecwid e-commerce is here to make that happen. We can help you automatically show the exact product visitors saw but didn't purchase on your site wherever they go on Facebook and Instagram using this magic called dynamic Facebook retargeting. To show these ads to your prospects today, sign up in your Ecwid control panel in the marketing section and look for the Facebook Remarketing app. This is fully integrated into Ecwid and Facebook and so simple and effective you'll wonder why you hadn't done this sooner. To help you decide, if you sign up now and spend $50 by February 15th, you'll receive a free $100 advertising credit from our friends at Facebook. Okay, back to the show.
This is the Ecwid E-Commerce Show with your host, Jesse Ness, along with Richard O'Tay.
Happy Friday, Richard.
What's happening, Jess? How are you?
I'm good. It's a good day here in San Diego.
Cleared up for us too.
Yeah, we were also out of the polar vortex that was the rest of the country was dealing with. So
you see that, you don't miss Minnesota much, do you?
No. Well, San Diego's home, so it's all good. And so today this is interesting because we are going to be talking about remarketing. And so we're doing the podcast version of remarketing. We're hitting people with the same message over and over. The promo for a lot of our podcast mentions Facebook remarketing. So I think this is real life remarketing for podcasts.
Yeah, well, for other people that are parents like us out there, they know you can't just say something one time to your kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
and you're our family out there, and we want to help you. And this stuff works. And so it's one of the most effective ways to get more sales, to really get in front of the people that have been to your store but didn't make a purchase. And so we just want to reiterate as much as we can. And we have a guest going to be coming on the show that's got a company that's one of the best at it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the idea of you have to repeat the same message, like you're training your kids, lift the seat up, lift the seat up, lift the seat up. Remarketing is the same way that, you keep putting that product in front of people and eventually they're going to buy. So today we want to bring on our guest, Karel Tlustak. Karel, I think I butchered the last name a little bit, but how are you?
Hey, it was nearly correct.
I practiced even, but I'll get there.
Sorry that I've got so complicated name.
Quite all right.
Another example of needing to do things over and over again.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm going to remarket you with my name.
I like it. Awesome. Yeah. So, Karel, you're calling in from the Czech Republic. So, if people are wondering what the accent is, that's the accent. And then, so Karel, give us a little bit of a backstory to where did you come from? How did you get here?
Yeah. Thanks for having me here. Look, I'm CEO of ROI Hunter. We are Facebook and Google partner. And we are managing 500,000 campaigns, so I think I could tell you something about remarketing. But really the reason why we are here is simply to hunt for better ROI for your clients. That's why we are ROI Hunter.
Awesome. I noticed your title was Chief Hunter as well.
Yeah.
I like it. All right. So now
I'm going to be... Right now, I'm ROI Hunter, but I believe that in a couple of hours, I'm going to be Beer Hunter.
Yes.
It's 8 a.m. or p.m. actually here, so
yeah, it's Friday, so I appreciate you sticking around. And there's no reason you can't have a pint in front of you while you're podcasting. That's the beauty of it.
I didn't have this idea.
All right.
Well, it's a little early for us too, so it's all right.
Awesome. So you're the CEO of ROI Hunter, but getting back, so you didn't just start doing that. How did you start in the digital marketing world?
Yeah, I've actually established the agency Business Factory 10 years ago. And we worked with very small customers here in Europe, mainly eco-businesses. And it was actually me creating first campaigns on Facebook and AdWords for them. But since we had more and more customers, now it's nearly 200 people in our company. And yeah, we want to grow and we are partnering with Ecwid. So shining future in front of us for your clients, hopefully as well.
Awesome, yeah, and the future there for all the people listening if everybody follows along. So you had the agency. So you didn't just grow from you and some friends to 200. So what was your specialty? Was it Facebook and Google ads? What was how did you grow so big?
Look, it was actually just agency until one interesting thing happened, because we had a bunch of developers. I have developers background, and we created a lot of internal tools just to make marketing more efficient and working for our clients. But then we were somehow spotted by Facebook. So they literally gave me a ring and they said, hey guys, come to London, show us what you have. We see some interesting activity in our API. So we came there, and I've realized that it's some competition that they called a Facebook Accelerate program, which was kind of competition between interesting companies that they selected.
Okay.
And they selected us because they liked what we were doing, and we worked with their engineers, product guys, commercial teams for half a year. We've learned a lot, and because we were the fastest, we won this program and became their official marketing partner at the end of 2014. So you could say that we are actually product of Facebook.
Awesome. No, that's
worse partners to have, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. So you guys were building the tools internally, and for people that are not in depth with Facebook ads, there's a lot of creative needs. You need to usually need a lot of images. You need a lot of headlines, and everybody wants you to test, but it's kind of hard to do all that. So I assume your tool was basically helping you do that internally for your own agency.
Yeah, exactly. But imagine that we were working with a lot of big e-commerce companies, and they are usually struggling with product feeds and how to make the marketing as efficient and personalized as possible. So we've learned a lot, but then we've even realized, hey, okay, if we are working with the biggest guys in a region, why we create simplified version for small guys? And that's why we created ROI Hunter Easy, which is using the same engine as the biggest companies are using, but for very small customers that are starting with marketing even.
Oh, that's perfect. I like that story because I think that's a lot of what Ecwid is. It's taking enterprise technology and then packaging it and making it easy for smaller companies to do it. So maybe that's why we're working together and why we're on this podcast. We both have the same goal there. So that's awesome. Yeah. So the tool was basically so ROI Hunter. And by the way, for full disclosure, I use the tool as well at Ecwid, managing our advertising as well. So, I think it's pretty cool that. Let's see, how can we describe this for users? So basically, you connect to a product catalog for people, and then describe some of the magic that happens behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think that the magic starts with the data that we have. Because as we are managing 500,000 campaigns, you kind of know what works for what segment and for what type of customer. And we simply look at your website, take the product catalogs that you have, and create structures of campaigns on Facebook and Google so that you are covered and you just set up the budget, and we make sure that you get the maximum for your budget.
Got it. So unlike an agency, so people that have dealt with an agency is you usually talk to a person and you say, make my numbers better and here's some ideas on what we can do. You essentially have a tool that does that automatically.
Yes, that's correct. You have the dashboard where you set up the budget and you see performance live. And the whole magic is happening in a backend.
Well, and again, just in case someone hasn't listened to any of the other episodes, this is specifically dealing with the feeds that you have in your store. So as long as you have your prices and your pictures and your descriptions up, there's no additional things you need to do other than set the budget and, you know, watch the campaign and how the campaign's going. This isn't about creating new creatives, right? This isn't like an SEO play.
Yes, exactly. We take your products and we make sure that people that visited these products see them cross-channel on different platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Google, or their website. And we make sure that we show them products in the right frequency so that they are not bombarded too much. But at the same time, you want to be on top of their mind, right? As you said, you need to repeat to the children so that they eventually do what you want.
Yeah.
So without going too deep, because if you've been doing this for that long and doing 500,000 campaigns, you could probably completely go over Jesse and I's head even on the answer to this. But with this cross device, what does that mean to somebody who doesn't quite understand? Like,
yeah, I think that this is quite a big challenge for most of e-commerce marketers because their customers are visiting their website from different devices. Right? It usually starts with mobile, but then they switch to tablet and maybe desktop when they are at home. And you need to capture their attention on all devices, ideally. And I believe that Facebook is a very good tool for this because people are logging in to Facebook in all their devices. And therefore, Facebook knows, all right, that person has simply all these devices. And even though the visitor comes, for instance, from the cell phone on a website, we can still show your products on their desktops, no matter where they are.
Yeah, I think that's a very good, important point because a lot of, especially with the rise of mobile, a lot of times people are they search on mobile, but they're on the move or they're busy, and so they look, and purchases don't happen on mobile as much as they happen on desktop because you got to type in all the address and all the credit card information, so that if somebody is looking for your product, they look on mobile, and of course they're logged into Facebook and Instagram because pretty much everybody is. Then when they're back home, maybe they're at work, they're in more of a buying mode because they might be sitting down at a chair and have their wallet and credit card right next to them, then your ad can now be displayed to them, wherever they go on. If you're using Facebook, and it's on Facebook, it's on Instagram, and then if you add Google as well, you're on pretty much every site across the internet. So cross-device is super important, and I think for people that are like hearing cross-device and think that's hard, it's not really that hard at all. You just, those are pixels that kind of pass this information back and forth. And maybe a few years ago, it would have been difficult to do this cross-device. So that's awesome.
You also mentioned frequency, and timing, right? Back to kind of our joke early on with the multiple touch points and all that. So do you utilize most of Facebook's AI, or is it a combination of information that you have with all these campaigns? How do you kind of figure out the right timing and the amount of times to put this feed in front of people?
Yeah, that's actually a good question because obviously Facebook has AI, Google has AI as well, but they need sufficient data so that they can really decide, okay, I need to do X, Y, Z. And what we see is that small businesses, they don't have really that big traffic on a website, so the neural network can't learn enough. So therefore, we are using the knowledge that we have from all these customers, from this 500,000 campaigns, so that we create structure that is following best practices that we see that are working with other customers. And we try to utilize Facebook and Google AI as much as possible so that we deliver simply ROI.
And the beauty is you guys are actually combining both of those as well, right? Like you guys,
exactly.
Yeah, okay. Awesome.
Because I see that, it's critical to really capture attention as soon as possible, because you want to have the customer kind of in this hot mood when they are thinking, or should I buy it or not? And then simply if you reach them on all possible spaces, then you increase your chance to win them.
Yeah, because someone's trying to get in front of them, so you might as well get in front of them again as quickly as possible, it sounds like.
Yeah, that's pretty important.
And did you find, obviously the sooner the better, so if somebody visits a site and abandons the cart, or do they just visit the product and not buy, that's what kind of kicks off the process, is that correct?
Yeah, it's correct.
And then, go ahead.
Yeah, and if they visit multiple products, then we try to actually estimate what products are capturing their attention the most, so that then they can see even on Facebook in carousel format, where you see like multiple products and you just swipe and you can choose for them. And Facebook is so clever that they are even adding more products that you even didn't visit, but we see on your website that these products are interesting for others, for other people that are similar to your profile.
I like that. So, okay. So if you go visit 2 products, you might see a carousel ad on Facebook or on Instagram that has, 5 products, and basically Facebook knows because they've seen other people buying on your site.
Yes, that's correct.
And that kind of leads to the next question I had. If you're doing the retargeting campaign and then someone eventually buys, is there anything that the merchant needs to do, or does it stop that campaign and maybe move on to other products?
No. By default, it stops the campaign. But if you have a big budget and we know that we wouldn't spend the budget, then obviously we try to reach people similar to your buyers and maybe retarget people that are similar to those that bought something. And again, this is where Facebook has a lot of information, because imagine that, for instance, Facebook knows, hey, iPhone 9 was bought by people that have iPhone 8, for instance. Then it's strong signal that we should actually reach out to people with iPhone 8 with your iPhone 9. So there's a lot of AI behind to choose right products to right people. And that's where you are just playing with the budget. Everything's happening as a magic. You just say, hey, okay, I'm happy with this. I'm going to increase the budget.
So awesome. So I didn't realize that. So this is even beyond remarketing, where remarketing means they had to see the product and then be shown the product again. But you also have the ability to target people that look like those same customers.
Yeah, it depends just on the budget.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
But obviously, remarketing has the best ROI, right? So I strongly suggest starting with smaller budget so that you capture the best promising customers, and then gradually increase it depending on your results.
What's the minimum that, a lot of people are they haven't done advertising before. What's the minimum budget that people could start with for remarketing?
Well, it pretty much depends on the traffic that you have on a website. Because we actually need enough people to even spend the budget, right? So I would start with $10, $20, $50 per day, and then you can scale it depending on results. But you need to be patient, you need to wait at least 2 weeks so that you really see how it develops, and it takes time usually to people to decide. So depending on what you are selling, there might be different decision processes, and it's usually at least a week so that even algorithms can learn
Yeah, I think that's good advice. A lot of times people get very anxious, but everything takes time, particularly with this, because it is machine learning and algorithms that are trying to figure out, how to, until you can find out more people that buy, you have to at least find one or two people that buy. And so it does take time. So that's good advice. What else should merchants know before they get started?
Well, I think that what is important to know is that we are very transparent, and your customers are paying directly to Google and to Facebook. But obviously, they need to set up an ad account, set up a page. We can't do this for them because otherwise we wouldn't be transparent and they wouldn't pay directly to Facebook and Google. So I think they need to just set up these, and they need to be patient. Mm-hmm. It's double advice, really. Like we see so often that you just put it on and then you expect that some miracle happens, and it's not coming, and you are a bit nervous, so you start changing things. No, just wait. Like 1 week is the minimum, really.
So it is magic, but don't expect miracles. So
no, you can expect miracles, but after 2 weeks.
Okay. I like it. Yeah. Okay. No, the patience is important. And I think also the setup process too. Like you mentioned, you're going to have to set up some accounts. You have to log in. You have to put in your credit card with Google and Facebook. So, expect that, right? It's, there is magic, but there are steps too. So there's a few things to do, and be patient. I think also we have there's a couple different promotions to get people going too. I know if you maybe heard the promo at the beginning of the podcast, there are some promotions. What type of promotions can people get through ROI Hunter for Google and Facebook?
Well, our friends from Facebook gave us some free ad credit coupons for your advertisers, but they should hurry up because as far as I know, it's limited till the end of February, right?
It is, yeah. And for people listening too, Facebook doesn't always give out ad credits. They're a little tight with that. So if you think like, oh, this will be extended forever and I can wait, that's not the case. It is a hard deadline of the end of February. So if you're listening to this in February, there's still time. If it's later on in the year you're hearing this, like you're probably too late on that, but get on it.
Not too late to use it, just too late to get the free ad credits.
For sure. You don't need free money to do the right thing for your business, but if you want the free money, get on it right now.
Yeah, you may as well. And plus, we try to reiterate this every time too. They are advertised. They make their money off advertisers. So to your point, Karel, that like they want, no matter how low your budget is in the beginning, they want to show you success, because if you put in $10, I'm not going to, I'll make up a number. They want to at least give you 12, or they want to give you some sort of number higher than the number you paid them. So you'll come back and give them more money. And then as you described, then they should, when you get more data, increase the ad spend as long as the ROI keeps coming, keep increasing, keep watching the campaigns. I did have one question there. Even though you pay Facebook and Google directly and you have to set up those accounts, you still just manage it through ROI Hunter though, yes?
Yeah. It's simpler for you because then you don't have to, create a feed, put it in a Google, put it in a Facebook, create Google Merchant account, connect the pixel and all this stuff and create all these campaigns. So we do a lot of magic in the backend. We use the campaign structures that we see from these 500,000 campaigns. This is what we do for you, but you can always log into native Facebook and Google interface and see really like what was created, how it goes there. But we see that usually it's easier to just set up the budget and think about it more top level, because I know that small e-com businesses, hey, they have so many things to do. Yeah. They don't have time really to spend time on Facebook and Google and manage their campaigns. No, they need to innovate and provide good service to their customers, right?
For sure. And for people who haven't logged into Google Ads or Facebook Ads Manager, it can be a bit overwhelming. There is a lot of information there, a lot of options. So I like that ROI Hunter Easy has made that a lot easier. But you also have the ability to log into your accounts, native accounts if you want as well. So I think that's a pretty cool option.
Yeah.
So Rich, any last questions for Karel before we sign off?
Oh man, I mean, it's always so hard to end the podcast because once we have someone with so much knowledge in their brain, I mean, I feel like I could ask eternally questions. I would just say, what do you recommend for people to just step one?
Well, step one is to start, right? They need to go to your app market and find Facebook and Google retargeting in the marketing section. And then it's pretty simple. They just go through steps that they will see. You just need to create that account page, and that's it.
I like it.
And then again, be patient.
Yeah. See, you've been remarketing the patient message, so I like that. So everybody should remember, launch with ROI Hunter. It's in the app market at Ecwid under marketing, and be patient. All right.
Exactly.
So, Karel, if people would like to learn more about you and your companies, is there some other place that they could go?
Yeah, they can Google ROI Hunter or just type roihunter.com and they will see the all successes that we did with very large customers. And at the same time, this is the engine that they can use for their small business.
Oh, that's perfect. Well, with the podcast here, the Ecwid E-commerce Show, we're all about helping small businesses. So, Karel, I think this is awesome. I'm happy that we could share this with our listeners. Rich?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Karel. Have a great weekend. Get out there. Get your happy
It's Friday. Get after it.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. Hey, thanks a lot for having me. Bye-bye.
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 Thank you. Well, Rich, there's another great show.
And when you add it all together with the other shows, you won't miss any strategies or new tactics on how to grow your online business.
So to make sure you don't miss anything, subscribe on your favorite podcast player. Rich, what player do you like?
Probably Stitcher.
All right.
How about you?
I'm an Apple podcast guy. I'm an Apple guy on that.
Yeah.
And we're growing right now. A listener asked us to add Google Play as a platform. So we just added that a couple weeks ago. We have Spotify, SoundCloud.
Nice. We're everywhere.
So subscribe on your favorite platform and don't forget to rate and review us.
So we know what you think.
Yeah, rate how we're doing, review on what we have done, tell us topics you'd like us to cover, tell us if you think we're great and you are going to take over the world.
Subscribe, rate, and review.
It's the only way we'll know, and it keeps the shows coming. Thanks, everybody.